Greetings. I am Gano Grills for Galighticus.com, and thank you for joining me again for another episode. Today's topic is about the WESAK Festival. Tonight, Thursday, our moon will be entering into the zodiacal house of Taurus. It will be a full moon, and this is a very auspicious occasion because we will have a visit from a very powerful being that is giving a large gift to our world, and his name is Gautama Buddha. He will be visiting our world for a very short amount of time, and there will be an exoteric event following the esoteric event of the WESAK Festival. The significance of this festival is divine, in that when the Buddha comes back from this interdimensional plane of reality called Shambhala, he will give to our world a gift of light, of his light that he has been harnessing, cultivating, and generating, almost like a self-generating star. The stars generate their own light. Buddha is somewhat of a star being, and that he has the ability to visit our world once per year and give a dose of light that will recalibrate and accelerate your imperative of reaching ascension or becoming enlightened. These energies are very, very needed on our world because our world is riddled with dark practices and events and entertainment. People like to entertain themselves with all kinds of debauchery and dark brightness. There must be an antidote. There must be an ancillary way to counterbalance that darkness. This is the reason why there is a hierarchy that assists with this agenda of giving light to anyone who is responsible enough, ready enough, and willing to receive a dose of light that will allow you to utilize it, incorporate it in your life for one entire year. And it will give you the ability to commune with the higher forces that basically rule our galaxy. So what that looks like is at the moment that the sun reaches, the moment that our moon reaches into Taurus, the Buddha will touch down in the Himalaya Tibetan Valley. And there will be a celebration that takes place. And in this celebration, there are many ascended masters, exalted beings, and the hierarchies. There will also be the presence of certain gods that will also attend this event. This event is something that is a celebration for a future event that is slated to occur on our planet, and that event is known as Ascension. This event also will give a very, very large gift from every being that comes. Now, it's important to understand that the same way that we have governments that rule our world, like in the US, the United States of America, we have the president, we have the Congress, the Senate, the judiciary branches, the legislative branches, and they all work together to pass laws that we must obey and that keep our 52 states harmonious and working within a certain accord. If you go to Europe, you have a monarchy that also rules its lands and its people. People must obey the laws of the land. But you also have sovereignty, cosmic sovereignty, and you have beings who are above the laws of man. These beings have also offices and jobs and functions that they must carry out on a daily basis. A lot of the things that we experience on our world has been signed off on and allowed to come into our reality so that we can utilize the laws of the universe through the laws that are passed that will allow us to accelerate and bypass some of the darker shades of things that go on here. Eventually, my personal hope will be that we will have world peace, that your grandchildren, my grandchildren, and their children will live in a world that is free and extricated of any kind of darkness whatsoever. That is also the hope of our Creator of all. But because we've allowed ourselves to have free will, we wanted to know what it was like to be on the other side of perfection. And here we are, right? So, with the WESAK Festival, it will start on the inner planes of reality. I've invited all of my students. I was given a very, very powerful invocation and ritual from Master DK, who also is one of the Mahat Shohans of the Rays of Creation. And all of the students of Galighticus that came to the Divine World Seminar in New York were given a ritual that will allow them to go and attend the WESAK Festival. I also will impart this to anyone who has a cosmic beacon. If you have a cosmic beacon, you also may observe from a safe distance the happenings of the WESAK Festival by attuning, putting on your cosmic beacon, and you will have to fast for 6 hours, and you must bring a gift. And before you go to bed, ask to be allowed to go into the WESAK Festival. And your cosmic beacon will be your allowance to watch the festival and everything that goes on in the festival, if that's something that you're ready for. For everyone else who would like to observe and participate in the energy that Gautama Buddha will be giving to the world, all you have to do is sit in silence starting at sundown on Thursday or Thursday, and give yourself 1 hour of silence in meditation and connect with the Shambhalic force, which is the energy that the Buddha will be giving to the world. For all of the Buddhists of the world who don't know about this festival, it's okay. What you can do when you have the time, it doesn't have to be at sundown, but it should be before midnight. You can attune yourself and give yourself 1 hour of chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And you could do this in front of your Gohanzen, and you can put your hands together like this and pull in the energies of the Shambhalic force that the Buddha will be giving during the WESAK. The WESAK Festival also will be happening on the outer planes, which means in physicality or exoterically. This will happen for the entire month of May. The reason that that happens is because the inner planes festival that will be happening, upon which Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, Lord Ganesh, many of the higher beings that we've read about in our mythologies, as well as certain doctrines, and lots of beings that we've never even heard of before will be present. They all will be celebrating and giving their energy with the Shambhalic force. These exoteric celebrations will happen, and they will be ensouled by the event that happens on the inner planes on Thursday. And this will bathe our planet until the next full house in Libra, when the moon goes into Libra. So I make you aware of it because by tuning into it, the spiritual veil that separates our perceptibility and keeps us quarantined from interfacing with our multidimensional self, as well as the spiritual world, the divine world, and the celestial kingdoms, the kingdoms of the divas, and many other kingdoms that are way more advanced than our world, is very thin. So if you have been getting different numbers, and you've been seeing symbols, and you've been getting moments of clarity and epiphanies and deep, deep insights. It is more likely because your agency, and every one of you has an agency that works with you, from your spirit guides to your ancestors, as well as your divine parents and your higher selves. They are all working to get you the information that will allow you to complete your contract here on earth, as well as your divine calendar. And I spoke about that in the Divine World seminar. I'll go more into that at a later date. Also, there is an angel who is very busy on our world. His name is Lucifer. Lucifer has lots of followers who are not aware that there was a decree that went out on the sixth dimension in 1995, in which the dark creator God Anshara was told to stop creating darkness within our universe. That darkness is still reverberating, but it's losing a lot of power. So a lot of the minions of Lucifer are busy, and I will also do a video on that and go into how you can decode this for yourself just by looking at some very, very simple facts. But the onset of this festival will help to mitigate, delineate, and deduce the stringency of the darkness that is happening on our world, that is caused by certain followers of the dark agenda. And again, I don't mean melanin when I talk about dark agenda. I mean dark brightness that the god Tuhuti or Lord Thoth spoke about in the Emerald Tablet. It is a very alluring, real thing. There are higher beings that are working on every moment of our perception to help our world to heal from some of the things that have happened that are still recorded on her land masses. There are beings that are working every second of the day to put into place the things that will help us have a peaceful world for the present as well as the future. Lastly, I will say, you might still be living in the third dimension if you are participating in any kind of chaos or things that are unharmonious to our reality. I haven't lived in the third dimension for about 5 years. I moved out of it. So have a lot of you. It's something to think about. The third dimension is a place of struggle. It's a place of polarity, duality, oxymorons, and a lot of laws that are broken. This helps to keep the third dimension very, very rich with suffering, pain, and confusion. When you shift your awareness into a higher dimensionality, which is the fifth dimension, you will not have any struggle there. You will have beauty all the time, and your perception will be very, very clear and succinct and dialed into the intention of why we're here. So I would ask anyone watching this video to observe the hours of the WESAK. Wish the Buddha, Gautama Buddha in particular, because there are many different kinds of Buddhas, okay? Wish Gautama Buddha happy birthday and acknowledge his enlightenment as well as his ascension. There are 3 major agencies that are participating in that event. That is the Christ energy, the Lord of the world, and the hierarchy, as well as the Manu. These are very advanced theosophical terms, and I will go into that later. But for now, I would say that the Christ energy will be reverberated very, very powerfully for the entire month of May, and it will start tomorrow night on Thursday, depending on when you see this video or not. So plug into the Christ energy, allow yourself to emancipate into the lane of liberty and clarity. Come closer to the Creator. Come higher to your own ascension. Walk onto the path of enlightenment, and don't delineate or deviate from that path. All of your wildest dreams and your best hopes are located on that path. Yes, there will be struggles. There will be confusion sometimes. But you are guaranteed light at the end of the tunnel if you're strong enough and clear enough to stay on that path. I am Gano Grills for Galighticus.com. Happy birthday, Buddha. And I wish you all a happy WESAK. Namaste. Give thanks.